Hello friends! Every day with us, learn a little more knowledge. Qatar is one of the wealthiest countries in the world. The GDP per capita of Qatar is around $100,000. People joke that in Qatar has nothing but money. Going out to meet 10 people, 9 people are already millionaires. But until less than a century ago, in the early 1900s, when the country was under British protection, Qatar was still a poor country. The main source of income of this small country is fishing and pearl mining in the ocean. But by the 1920s and 1930s, when Japanese cultured pearls appeared on the world market, Qatar's pearl industry gradually collapsed. The country fell into poverty and disease. So why in just a few short decades, Qatar has grown so quickly and become so rich? The answer is very simple: because Qatar is rich in natural resources. Indeed, with an area of only 11,580 square kilometers, it is completely covered by deserts. Daytime temperatures in summer can reach more than 50 degrees Celsius. But hidden deep inside those arid soil layers, there are black gold mines with huge reserves. In 1939, the first oil well was discovered in the city of Dukhan, near the west coast, about 80 kilometers from the capital Doha. In 1940, started to exploit, the output reached about 4,480 barrels of oil per day. However, the Second World War and its aftermath brought development to a halt, from 1942 to 1949. And it wasn't until 1950 that it resumed operations, averaging about 33,000 barrels a day, with an estimated revenue of $1 million a day. By 1954, production had tripled in revenue to $23 million a day. Thanks to the increase in oil revenue every day, the Qatari government, then the Al Thani royal family, began to reform the country, build schools, hospitals, power plants, and so on. The life of the people of Qatar began to improve from here. Not stopping there, in 1960 and 1963, Qatar in turn discovered 2 very large oil fields offshore, 90 kilometers east of Doha. As a result, oil production more than doubled, from 165,000 barrels a day in 1960 to 363,000 barrels a day in 1970. Sales in 1969 were about $115 million a day. In addition to oil, Qatar also has the third largest natural gas field in the world, after Iran and Russia. It was discovered in 1971, off the northeast coast of Qatar, with reserves of more than 25 trillion cubic meters. But because oil exploitation still brings a large source of income, so this gas field is saved by the government, not yet exploited immediately. It wasn't until 1980, when oil prices plummeted, that Qatar's economy began to contract between 1982 and 1989. The government of this country just decided to exploit natural gas reserves nearly 20 years ago. On September 3, 1991, the 20th anniversary of independence, the Qatari government inaugurated Phase 1 of a $1.3 billion natural gas extraction and liquidation project, deployed at a 6,000 square meter field off the northeast coast of Qatar, overseen by 2 French and American companies. The project marks an important step in the transition from oil to gas dependence for the majority of Qatar's revenue. The shift to natural gas, though costly, has brought positive results for the Qatari economy. In 1997, Qatar began exporting 160 million cubic meters of liquefied natural gas to Spain, becoming one of the largest liquefied natural gas exporters in the world, next to Australia. From there, GDP per capita grew rapidly in 1990 to $46,000, increasing to $74,000 in 1997. By 2009, Qatar had produced 89 billion cubic meters of natural gas, tripling its 2000 production, of which, more than 68 billion cubic meters are exported, 70% of which is liquefied petroleum gas. GDP reached more than $182 billion. GDP per capita is more than $111,000. Qatar's customers are also diverse, from European countries such as Belgium, UK, Spain, to Asian countries are Korea, Japan, India. Currently, crude oil and natural gas are considered the mainstay of the Qatari economy, accounting for more than 60% of total government revenue. A lot of countries that have a lot of oil and natural gas make a lot of money from it. But what they do with that money is what determines their fate. Like Venezuela, for example, with the wrong policies of the people who run the country, until now Venezuela is on the verge of bankruptcy. With $105 billion in debt in 2017, 1.6 million% inflation in 2018. Meanwhile, Qatar has made smart moves. They spent most of the money they made from the gas trade to build the modern capital city of Doha, with the most advanced infrastructure in the world. To diversify the economy, reduce dependence on oil and gas. Qatar National Investment Fund, established in 2005, this quarter specializes in domestic and foreign investment. In January 2013, it was reported that the fund's investment in the UK was about $30 billion, $10 billion in France, and $5 billion in Germany. The fund's total net assets amount to more than $100 billion. It also holds shares in a number of large companies such as Uber, Volkswagen. At the end of 2012, Qatar Sports, a subsidiary of the Qatar National Investment Fund, completed the acquisition of French football club PSG. Value the club at $130 million. And that's how Qatar got rich, from a poor desert country. With the economy dependent on the fishing industry, and the pearl mining industry failed. Become a super-rich country, with explosive infrastructure development. And the most regal lifestyle in the world. Video ends here. Thank you all for watching and liking it. If you find the video useful, please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to support us. Goodbye and see you again.